Man, excited to be 1-0 in the conference. It's a big deal. Here on family weekend. First half, thought we played, other than the opening drive on offense, I thought it was a really good first half. Thought that was SMU football. Offensively, we were efficient. Guys were making plays. We were playing with tempo. Defensively, we were stopping the run. Big early stop. We go 3 and out, shank the punt. They get a short field. They get 3rd and goal at the 1. We stop them 2 times in a row. That's a big kind of momentum swing early in the game, even without any points on the board. And then again, we get the turnover right after that. And we only get 3 out of it, so it's 3-0. And then I think we got another either pick or 4th down stop here right after that shortly. So I thought our defense was really good early and allowed our offense to really get going. And to be up 24-3 at half and eventually 31-3 is a big deal. And it doesn't have to be pretty, but we finished. And we got a win. We got a double-digit win in the conference. And, hey, we're 1-0 and got a chance now to go 2-0 next week. So it was good to have a celebrated locker room.
What work did you kind of observe the defense as a whole putting in during the last 2 weeks? And do you feel like that contributed to maybe a better outcome today?
Yeah, I mean, so sometimes it's just you may change some things. We moved Deuce to playing nickel. Lamadric's out, and we've been kind of struggling with consistency there anyways, and that allowed us to put Ahmad Moses back in the deep free safety spot. And I thought Deuce and Kyron Chambers did a really good job there, which kind of settled down the safety picture for us. And then, Marcellus and Smoke and Speedy doing a good job at corner. So I think we kind of fell into probably the best lineups for us, in terms of the 5 or 6 guys that play back there. They're not 100%. It's good getting Kilgore and Barker back. Helps our communication. But now those other linebackers have played a lot. So now all of a sudden we have depth at linebacker. And I thought defensive line did a nice job. We didn't have to sell out pressure to get pressure all night. Not that we got it all the time. They threw it a ton. But we got some sacks. We got some pressures. We stopped the run for the most part. And so I just thought it was a good group effort of just taking pride over the last 2 weeks saying, look, we're better than this. We've played good defensive stretches in those losses, but we didn't play it consistent enough. And I thought we did today. I thought we were much more consistent defensively. And I don't think we went out and just, changed everything. We tweaked some things, but I think we just played better. We tackled really well in space. We got off the field better on 3rd down, and just made more plays.
Today only 2 penalties for 15 yards.
Thank you for highlighting that. I appreciate that.
Yeah. What happened over the bye week?
Nothing different. See, we coach against penalties all the time. We coach discipline all the time. So we didn't change anything, because if we'd have changed something, that would have just proven that we weren't doing it right to begin with. So I think we did have guys, now we're 4 games in. We did play fundamentally better. We executed better, particularly in the first half on offense. So you didn't see a lot of the foolish penalties that we've had. Same thing on defense. We just challenged the guys, let's be done with the childish stuff. Like, for us to win this year, last year, next year, rule number 1 is make yourself hard to beat. And if you don't beat yourself with penalties and turnovers, then you make yourself harder to beat. We had 1 turnover and 2 penalties. They had 3 or 4 turnovers and 6 penalties. That right there is a big deal. And so I think our guys were focused, and they just played fundamentally more sound and had more poise. But we coached the same way in practice we always have. We just executed better.
Kevin at one point had 16 straight completions.
I just heard that. That's crazy.
Pretty good
Yeah.
day for him overall. What did you think of his play, and was there any thought of maybe getting him out in the 4th quarter at some point? Or did,
Billy, I was just trying to win. I lost my voice trying to win. So no.
I just banged up.
Yeah, the good news is he didn't get banged up today, I don't think. You could tell he was a lot healthier. Didn't have to run a lot, but, man, he was efficient. And, they're playing us the same way everybody else is. They're not going to give Romello and Jordan and RJ and those guys one-on-one chances to be explosive. So they're going to keep everything back. And you saw us get the ball on the perimeter. I thought we blocked on the perimeter well. He was really efficient. A lot of those are run perimeter options, and he's making the read to hand it, throw it. So, we actually called more than 28 run plays. Probably 8 or 10 of our passes were off of run plays. And I thought he distributed the ball well, almost like a point guard. But then when we needed it, I mean, the shot to Jalen Cooper kind of got us going on the over route play action. The shot to RJ, what a catch by RJ. And then the one right next play to Matt Hibner, was still able to push the ball down the field. But he just did a really nice job of not forcing things, taking what they gave him. And I think that's why he was so efficient. And, we were able to do that, at least in the pass game.
You got Jermod Odoms into the game today, and I know you haven't had a chance to look back and watch it yet, but what have you seen from him in the practice and in the weeks leading up to today that gave you and Coach Justice the confidence to put him in?
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you. So Draymond's going to be a great player, and we love him. And he's been working hard. He's had a really good 2 weeks, but he also played out of necessity. I mean, Andrew Chambly had a baby. He wasn't even here. So Savion started at left tackle. Everybody's healthy, by the way. Everything went good. So now Savion practiced at right tackle all week to then play left tackle as of to this morning. Then PJ gets hurt at halftime, can't go back. So Draymond has to play. So you're playing with Draymond, Savion, because Chambly's not here and PJ's out. PJ came back in late when it got a little tight. He made freshman mistakes, but he also played hard, and we won, and he got invaluable experience. And I think, again, he came here, and we feel like he's going to be a special player, and days like today will help accelerate that growth for him. But he's had a good 2 weeks, and we trust our guys. We're going to recruit guys that are going to come here, and we're going to throw them in the game and let them play. And they're not going to have to be perfect, but that's how they're going to get better. We believe in all of them.
You mentioned that sequence, RJ and Hibner looked like they were maybe a little more involved than they've been. Was there any effort to do that? And is that also maybe part of RJ being further along in that health?
They were both a little more healthy than they've been. I mean, Matt Hibner's been hobbling too. And so I think you could tell the bye week helped them both a lot. Kevin has a lot of faith in those guys. You saw late in the game, he hit Hibner twice to, run some clock and get some first downs. Obviously, RJ wasn't exactly open when he threw that, but he made a great throw and RJ made a great catch. So those two guys are great. They're NFL players. They're as healthy as they've been this season. And so, yeah, that was why it was a lot easier to get them more involved, and we'll continue to try to do that every week.
The defense just being, it seemed like there were just more kind of around the ball and swarming a little bit more. Just what did you see from that effort from them?
That's SMU defense. When you swarm the football, it fixes a lot of issues. I did think we tackled a lot better, but we did. We swarmed. We played with great energy. They didn't let the drive or the situation dictate how hard they were playing. We rolled a lot of guys. But that's it. We just challenged them. That's it. Let's swarm. Let's play SMU football. Let's get 11 white helmets with a Mustang on the side of it around that football every time. And I think for the most part we did that. And it covered up some issues when we weren't perfect. And then when we were, we made a lot of plays. And that's got to be who we are.
Is it your call from the sideline for whether Wade McSparron is going to kick lefty or righty?
I thought you were going to ask me the shank. No, well, we have a guy who can punt with his right and his left foot. Pretty cool, huh? So, Coach.
Had that before?
No, I've never even heard of that before. So, anyways, now Coach Cooper and Coach Casey Horney, our special teams coaches, we've been working it all fall camp. And so, I mean, it's a great weapon when you can rugby left, rugby right, punt in the pocket. So, kind of makes it really hard for the defense to overload one side. So, and he's effective with both. So, pulling that out today was good. Give some other people things to worry about. But no, it's not my call. We know throughout the week what our reps are for punt, and we knew this week we were going to give him that option to go both ways, and so.
You mentioned just trying to get a win when I asked you earlier about Kevin, but how does this one feel just to kind of get this first?
Yeah.
Opener and things like that.
Well, I mean, it feels great to go 1-0 in the league. That celebrated locker room was good. I mean, our guys needed that because they worked so hard, and we were in two really good contested games. One we definitely should have won, one we could have won, and we didn't. And so to feel the reward for your work is important. And, I mean, we played really – it was 31-3, and we didn't finish the way we'd like, but, shoot, we finished. We won, and that is all that matters. And so this can give us momentum going into this week. We get to play at home again. We got an early kick, Stanford coming in, and we got an opportunity to go 2-0. And so, we're in that kind of elimination conference play now, like we've been in the last couple years. And so each week, you just got to find a way to win, whether it's at home or on the road. And so, yeah, I mean, I wasn't worried about who we got in or out. I just wanted to win. I wanted to see 3 zeros and us have more points than them. So, yeah, feels good.
You mentioned a couple weeks ago that once you finish a game, then they kind of have that breakthrough. Do you think this game was that breakthrough? I mean, obviously you said we didn't finish quite as well as we wanted to, but we finished.
Yeah, I mean, you got to accomplish confidence, and today we did. We were up 31-3. They have a nice little drive. Probably the one time we kind of gave up a drive on defense this game, and they make it 31-10. Then we go throw a really dumb interception, and then our defense holds them, and then I call probably the worst play in the history of college football, and we get a safety. So now it's 31-12. But they just kept fighting, and then it got tight. I mean, they're kicking an onside kick that we didn't exactly field great, but we got it. And then we didn't run all the time off the clock, but we got it with 5 minutes left in the game, week 2, and we didn't run enough time off. We got all the way down to 1 minute, no timeouts. Could have kicked a field goal, chose not to. And then our defense stopped them, right? So, yes, it doesn't matter how it looks or how you do it. It just matters that you do it. And so now our entire team, offense, defense, special teams, goes, we can finish a game. We can close out a game. And guess what? Next week, if we want to win, we're going to be in the same position at some point where we have to close out the game. Now we've been there, we can say, no, we've done it instead of, well, we almost did it. And so, yeah, it's a big step for this team.
Coach, that's what I wanted to ask you about the safety play after Marcellus Barnes' pick. What broke down on that play and what call was it for that play for them to have safety?
Yeah, so I've coached for 18 years, called plays for, 12. I don't run stretch on the goal line for that reason. There was a formation that we had not been running the ball well in between the tackles, and the ball was on the 5, not the 1 or the 2. And so we got in a formation we felt good about running stretch, and our freshman running backs in there with our freshman left tackle. And lo and behold, the first time we've seen it from them all year, they play a different look and bring pressure off that edge. We should get hats on hats and at least get a no gainer -1. But I put our guys in a really bad spot, 2 freshmen in a really bad spot. And that's just bad coaching. So, put them in a spot they've never been in, doing something they've never done, and then we get a safety. So that's not on them. That's on me. Probably won't do it again either.
You talk all the time about your different goals and priorities and that kind of thing, and high up on that list is always winning your conference games.
Yep.
This is like 18 regular season conference games in a row.
Yeah.
It's certainly a streak you hope is not over, but how gratifying is that to string together that much, an extended run of conference success like that?
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. I think coming in today, us and Oregon each had 17. Chris told me for now we're at 18. We're in first. I don't know what time they play. So, 18 straight. So it's been like November of 22, right? At Tulane was the last time we lost. I remember that. It was a bad day. But then we came back and beat Memphis, and we haven't lost a regular season conference game since. I think it's a testament to what we're building, our coaches, our players that were here, that are still here. That's hard to do, and half of that, 9 of those 18 are in the ACC. So it's a big deal. And I think one of our guys told me on Thursday, he's like, Coach, we've never played an ACC regular season game that we weren't first or tied for first in the league. Let's not stop now. Here we are 1-0, and however you look at it, we got a 1,000 winning percentage. And so we're 3-0, 2-0, 1-0. We control everything in front of us. And so our guys take a lot of pride in that. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal. It doesn't happen often anywhere. A lot of good programs that don't do that. So we're humble. We're thankful. A lot of work. A lot of players did a lot of great things and won some tough games to do that. And we got to come back next week and try to make it 19.
How did it feel getting back in the end zone again? I know it was your first time this year, but in an ACC game to make an impact like that.
Oh yeah, it felt great. Last touchdown I had versus Missouri State, it was a little freebie. So this one felt pretty good to get in for real.
Coach Lashley was just talking about how important the run of regular season conference wins that you guys have had, how important that is to him. How important is that to you guys, you and the rest of your teammates?
I would say it's very important, just to keep that, I guess you could say tradition of just constantly winning, in conference. We're undefeated since the American. So just staying on that track and doing what guys before us have done, just constantly winning, and it makes our team, just believing in one each other each week. Is just very important for the rest of the season.
Cam, the defensive line got 2 sacks today, but it seems like they were putting Collins under a bunch of pressure, forcing him to miss throws. How would you say the defensive line played as a whole?
I think we did really good, just affecting the quarterback. Each time we had a chance with pressures, stunts, and when they call jets. So we definitely been making sure we're going to help the DBs out any chance we can get, getting to the quarterback. And we knew he had some legs, but I didn't know Terry had some wheels like that, to chase him down. So that was impressive too.
During the bye week, what were kind of the conversations like? It was Coach Simons at least said to us, there's work to be done, and do you feel like that kind of you channeled that energy into today to maybe take some steps forward as a group?
No, absolutely. Bye week, I'll definitely say we just really emphasize just finishing. TCU and Baylor, we had the fourth quarter leads, obviously. So we just emphasized in the bye week to just really finish and capitalize on the opportunities that are given to us, on just tackling the football, just doing the basic things right. So that's really what we emphasized last week, just being ourselves and not overthinking or doing anything that we're not used to.
Hey, RJ, Coach said that you're the healthiest you've been all year. How close to 100% do you feel like right now?
I feel ready. I feel good. I feel pretty 100%. I don't know if it shows up if you see it, but I feel good.
By the end of the first half, 8 different guys had catches. You put up 21 points in the second quarter. Did it feel like the offense was really maybe playing its best offense of the year at that point?
Oh yeah, it's really just both of us really playing complementary football. Defense making clutch stops, and then we go down there and score. So if we can do that and play like that consistently throughout the whole game, we'll win a lot.
RJ, it felt like there were maybe just more opportunities to get you and Matt involved. Did it feel like that to you, and what do you think contributed to that?
Yeah, I love when Coach Lashley gets the tight ends involved because, I'm a tight end. So, we always want the ball. We don't want the receivers getting it all the time. We're a little bit selfish too,
Kevin Jennings completed 83% of his passes and 4 touchdowns. Did he look as impressive to you as he looks on the stat sheet? And what did you credit his performance to?
Kevin's just, the type of quarterback he is. He can get away from defenders and do all that type of jazz. So, he's pretty good at, getting his completion percentage pretty high. So, yeah, I think he just needs to keep doing the same stuff and he'll be all right.
How much is good?
Today was just 2 penalties for 15 yards. Obviously, there was a problem before. What flip switched week by week?
In practice, Coach Lashley, he's been getting pretty mad when we jump off sides or false starts, even when the defense does it too. So I think we just want to keep him pretty happy, and I don't like when Coach Lashley gets mad because it's really bad for all of us. No, absolutely.
Coach was talking about how the bye week was so important for you guys, simply for getting healthy or getting some rest. Specific to you, did you change up what you were doing to try to get take some miles off your knee or?
Oh, my knee feels great. Really, I jammed my pinky last practice, so getting my pinky back 100%. That's been the biggest thing for me.
Cam, there were multiple times throughout the game where the defense stopped Syracuse on 3rd and 4th and shorts. How do you feel like you guys were able to really outmuscle Syracuse?
We really emphasize just every time we go on the field, make sure that it's going to be a stop, So every time we're out there, we were going to find a way to make sure they don't get the first down, get a touchdown. So every time we went out there, we went out with confidence and really just made sure that we gave the offense the opportunity to get the ball again.
Things kind of get dicey there in the fourth quarter. I mean, it wasn't really close. But, just kind of having them fight back a little bit. Was that just a good reminder of, how these league games can go?
No, absolutely. The Baylor and TCU game, just really on the finish, make sure we're, keep our foot on the gas pedal and don't let up. Because, especially conference games, it's going to get tough, especially with the teams we have left. You can't sleep on anybody. It's college football, so, yeah.
To piggyback off the question about the 3rd and 4th down stops by the defense, RJ, what did that do for you and the rest of the offense to see the defense get a stop on the goal line for one, and then another fourth down stop a couple of drives later?
Yeah, when they're on the 1 yard line and the defense can make a stop, it makes me feel like we have to go down and score, because what I just witnessed. Like, we need to get points. If they're gonna hold them 4 plays at the 1 yard line, we have to go get points, or else we're doing them a disservice.
Yeah, it definitely feels good. Just coming off a bye week, I'm getting the time to recover, and then coming to this game, starting out strong and all of that. Like you said, getting our first win in the ACC, it means a lot. So just looking to keep that rolling and, keep the season rolling like that.
You said that coming off the bye week, a lot of players were able to get closer to 100% physically and get more fresh. But did it feel like the mentality almost seemed more fresh too coming off the bye week?
Yeah, it definitely seems a little different. Coming off, we preached it all the whole time I practice, just finishing, being physical, being fast and physical and all of that stuff. So I think we definitely took that from practice and, showcased it in the game. Yeah.
4 touchdown passes, 83% completion. What was the best part of your game today?
Honestly, just trusting my guys. I didn't really do nothing special out there, really. Just putting the balls in those guys' hands, letting them make plays for me. I think that's the main thing for me. Just get the ball to my playmakers and trust them all line. That was the main part.
Seems like the tight ends were a little more involved
Right.
today. What led to that, and
Yeah.
something you've been hoping for the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, definitely. It was just, it came to a time, they had to click right there, and I think it clicked in that game, and it just showcased how good our tight end room is. And, they're really versatile. They can block on the perimeter, block inside, and also just go out and catch the ball. So I think it just showcased how good our tight end room is.
What's your reaction on the sideline when you see your defense stop Syracuse
Mhm.
on the 1 yard line?
Right. Yeah, I was pumped. You probably go look back on it. I was pumped. I went to the field. I think I jumped over one of our D linemen. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Will Smith. Yeah, I jumped over him. But yeah, it was definitely a good time watching that. To stop at the 1 yard line.
Coach said that he called a lot of runs that maybe you saw something in the pass game that you could kind of see. What were you seeing in the pass game that made you pull a lot of those runs?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of preached it all week. Get the ball in the perimeter. Their mic was tucked in the box a lot, and just gave free access to our bubbles out there and the spots out there. So just taking advantage of that. They're gonna play the mic inside the box the whole game. Just spit the ball out, make plays.
Is it a relief to get this type of a win?
Yeah.
What are the emotions like when it's
Yeah.
says 3-0's on the clock?
Right.
You get a win?
Yeah, it definitely felt good. Just getting a 3-0, ending the game with a dub like that. Anytime it feels good. But definitely starting the first ACC game coming off after a loss, it definitely feels good. Just getting a dub.
You got a teammate who Marcellus Barnes,
Right.
a year ago was wearing the Syracuse uniform.
Mhm.
Did you or anyone on the offense talk to him at all about his former defensive teammates and what they like to do, or was this just a normal scout like any other game?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to him a little bit. I mean, it was a normal scout, but I'll joke around with him who should I pick on, who was the worst corner, all that stuff like that. And he'll tell me, he'd be like, him right there, certain so. So kind of joked around a little bit with him, and it was good. Seeing him get a pick out there for sure.
Did you give you any hints that you were able to do so?
Yeah, definitely. He definitely did. So took that to full advantage, and went out there, executed pretty well. So. Yeah.